Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Monday Night Sports. First topic, college basketball. Bob Knight versus Calipari.
Bob Knight made some controversial news this week. He basically called out John Calipari from Kentucky, talking about he had no integrity. And, it's seen that Bob Knight kind of has a sordid past. He's a very controversial figure. A lot of people kind of took offense to that. Marcus, you're a big Kentucky fan. Tell me what you think about that.
I mean, out of all people, Bob Knight is the last person in the world who has any room to talk about someone's integrity.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're kicking your players and choking your own son up on the bench.
Didn't he pull out a whip on Calvert Cheney back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, there's more apparent complaints out of Bobby Knight in his time than anyone else. I don't see how the man has any room to say anything about Calipari. I think he's a little jealous personally that he's not still coaching.
I mean, I hear your points, but I beg to differ. As you know, I'm an avid Bob Knight supporter and a longtime Indiana fan, and I think what Knight was really speaking of is a lot of the hypocrisy that goes on in college basketball. Knight has a perfect graduation rate, never had any type of NCAA infractions. He's one of the few people to be able to be successful without doing that. And I think he made some very valid points. If you look at the things that Calipari has done at UMass and at Memphis, I know.
Has Calipari ever been?
Next topic, Texas basketball.
That's interesting, man. I'll back up on that too. One more point on Bob Knight, though. He might be telling the truth.
Exactly.
In terms of Texas basketball, they made a big statement game against North Carolina. It was, the defending champions. They came out, and the boy we were talking about, Mr. Pittman,
Yes.
came in with Kevin Durant. Was kind of a big sloppy guy. Now he's rounded out. Looks like he's going to be an NBA first rounder.
Definitely. I mean, they've got Damian James on the team. Jay Lucas transferred from Florida. He's now eligible. They've still got, just a whole lot of guys back from that team last year. I think they're going to carry them deep into the tournament this year.
Yeah.
Next topic. Next topic, NFL, undefeated Colts.
So right now, the Indianapolis Colts are the last undefeated team, 14-0, first time in franchise history. And I'm going to go out and say, I haven't been the biggest Peyton Manning fan. I'm originally from Indianapolis, but I think that Peyton Manning might be the best quarterback ever. If you look at how he plays the game, how he almost single-handedly beats teams by, just his smarts and just his knowledge of the game. The guy's probably one of the most accurate passers in the game, in the history of the game, and he gets the ball out so quick. He doesn't give other teams a chance to sack him. If you just sit back
let him
and
win another
plays,
Super Bowl when we can talk.
That's valid,
Well, and I think as we discussed in our pre-show meeting, his ability to be as successful as he has with the lack of weapons. When you think about
zero running game,
when you think about the great quarterbacks of all time,
they have Hall of Fame surrounding players,
and he has nobody that he's run with. You can say Marvin Harrison,
but he pretty much made Marvin. If you look at it, Marvin,
that's kind of tough to say.
Next topic. Next topic. Saints lost NFC playoff picture.
Yeah.
So the Saints, they finally couldn't escape death all season long. The Saints kind of been skating past, skating by teams, pulling games out at the end. But the Cowboys had their number on Thursday night, and now the Saints are 13-1.
Well, for the Cowboys, it was do or die. They played with a sense of urgency. They needed that win to stay alive. I wasn't surprised at all that Dallas won that game. They've been there before. New Orleans is new to this. Let's face it. So we're going to
get a lot of silly pass interference calls in that first half. It kind of looked like we wanted to see Dallas win. I'm not trying to call out Mr. Goodell to get on us, but
yeah,
something fishy.
And I also think in the grand scheme of things for the Saints, big picture, their ultimate goal being to win the Super Bowl. I think a loss this week, they still have home field advantage. They really didn't lose anything by losing this game, except for maybe a renewed focus that can, push them to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Next topic, Chris Henry.
So Chris Henry, wide receiver of my beloved Bengals, unfortunately passed away. Sad story. This guy, he kind of had a troubled past. He had been arrested numerous times, been suspended. But he was on his way to getting his life together. He was recently engaged to the mother of his children. He was playing well. He unfortunately had an accident that his arm was broken, was forced him on the IR, which is why he wasn't with the team, and he was kind of out with his, girlfriend. It's a lot of controversy as far as what exactly happened, but it's just kind of sad to see a young man, 26 years old.
Well, one thing I want to say about the Chris Henry ordeal that everyone seems to be talking about is he was getting his life back on track. You know what? Even if he hadn't been getting his life back on track, the fact that he died is still sad to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I think everyone's making such a big deal about him staying out of trouble. I mean, would it be less sad if he was still getting in trouble?
Right.
I mean, that's...
Okay, next topic, NBA, 76ers.
Well, Allen Iverson has returned to Philly. I think he's the AI that needs to lead this team this year. It's obvious to me that Iguodala is not cut out to be a franchise player.
No.
A good second or third option, I will say. He's very talented. I don't want the ball in Iguodala's hands, and I don't want my team to put all of their hopes for the season.
And I agree. In the 20 or so years that I've been watching basketball, I've never seen anybody hit more luckier, uglier game-winning shots than Andre Iguodala.
Oh, yeah.
I know the one that he hit earlier last week that I think it ended up getting waved off was, completely, just throwing the ball up with a hope and a dream.
Right.
If Philly has any chances of making the playoffs, I think they're going to ride on Allen Iverson and Iguodala, especially in the East, which is a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for.
Next topic, wild card topic. What do you think of Elon getting half, and should Elon have caught a case over the whole golf club incident?
Well, Tiger, what they say, it's cheaper to keep him, and Tiger was out there, playing around. Hanging out with Mike and Charles Barkley, and that's what happens, man. He presented himself to be one way, and unfortunately, he got to pay the piper. He shouldn't have got married. Basically.
Let's face it, the average guy who's worth $750 million. Not talking about anyone on this panel. I'm just saying, you're $750 million. It's hard to behave like an upstanding Boy Scout.
Well, I don't necessarily think that they got married for love in the first place, so I'm not really mad at him if he can separate from that situation. He had the nanny, good for the kids, and he's moving on to whatever he's going to move on to. I wish the boy luck.
And as far as Elon not catching the case, I think Tiger, the last thing he wanted, he's already been disgraced enough. Having to answer questions about his affairs
and getting beat by his wife.
But yeah, to put on top of that, having to answer about being a victim, being the first professional athlete to be a victim of domestic violence. I don't think that's something that Tiger wanted to add to his resume.
Yeah,
I'll just stay there.
Tiger's had a rough week. He's definitely had a rough week, and if he has a part with half of that, fortune he has, I think that unfortunately. That's what most of Price is going to have to pay for trying to be that guy. For basically trying to have his cake and eat it too. That's how much it costs, $300 million.
I think Elon really is not being smart on this one. I think she should play the Juanita role, stick around for about 10 more years. You divorce Tiger now, and you're getting $750 million or however much he's worth. 10 years from now, you can triple that amount. She'll still have grounds for a justifiable divorce, for the rest of
One last point before we close this topic. All Tiger Woods wants for Christmas is his 2 front teeth. And that's a wrap for Monday Night Sports.
Merry Christmas.
All right, cool.